I don't know what the weather is like where you are in the world, but where I am, it's pretty nice. I'm Zoe Smith, founder of the Exodus Collective. Our focus is really on helping folks move abroad, with a specific focus on the Caribbean. And while it might seem like I'm showing off, I mean, I am showing you the beautiful backdrop, which is at the beach just around the corner from where I live. Really, in this video, I just wanted to reach out to those of you who are thinking about being based elsewhere, being based somewhere where you can feel more connected to nature, where you can have this around the corner from where you live, but feeling uncertain as to how to get there. Because as much as it feels awesome to be here right now, I know the struggle that it took for me to get here. And that's me as someone who's made many moves abroad, who, wasn't particularly overwhelmed at the thought of leaving my friends and family behind. But the logistics of how do I get to be based in the Caribbean, a region in which often it seems as if there aren't that many jobs to be found. How do I do that? How do I provide an income for myself, for my family, and to be able to live well? And I know, thanks to those of you who filled out the questionnaire that I posted yesterday, I know that for many of you, income, how to sustain yourself, is really a big challenge, and how to uproot yourself and to find a sense of belonging when you move abroad is something that folks really do want to get their heads around. So what I am thinking about, and I would love to get your thoughts, is hosting a workshop that really talks you through the ins and outs of being able to be based in Grenada. For those of you who have no interest in Grenada, hold tight. Non-Grenada content will resume later this year. But me being here, understanding the process, knowing who to put you in touch with is something that I really want to be able to offer, so that those of you who are serious about it can go from dreaming to taking action and making, this your reality. I remember when I was really wanting to be able to be based here, one of the things that was a real turning point was joining a group called something like Single Mothers Do Travel. And it was a group for women across the world who happened to have children. And it was really just like encouraging each other, showing each other how there were ways to be able to travel with kids on your own dime. And it really just shifted everything for me. I think the first thing that I saw were women who were traveling all over the world with their kids. And the way in which they were able to do that, they didn't necessarily, pretty much all of them didn't have a huge trust fund, didn't have savings in the bank. What they did was that they taught English online. And for me, teaching English is something that never particularly appealed to me, even though I'm a journalist by training. I was like, it sounds a little bit draining, like my grammar isn't that great, even though I write for a living. It just didn't really ever seem like something that I would want to do. But I thought, I'm going to move to Grenada. Let me try it out. Let me see what it's like. And it was actually it was like literally the easiest job I've ever done in my life. Teaching students in China, mainly children, but sometimes adults as well. And you would literally just rock up, teach for 20 minutes or 50 minutes, depending whether it was a solo or a group session. And that was it, like no preparation, very little feedback needed afterwards. I did have to do a TEFL course, teaching English the foreign language. But that TEFL course, I paid, I think, something like £35 for it on Groupon. So the investment that I put into my teaching career was pretty small. And I did that for about 6 months. I actually started doing that in December 2019, and that really opened me up to the possibilities of working online, because literally me being in London, I could be tapping into anywhere really. So that was a real exploration for me personally. Being based in Grenada, the money coming in from that was never going to be enough to sustain a family of 4. But it was a nice side hustle, and I know folks living in Jamaica do that for income. I think Belize as well. So yeah, really understanding how your income matches up to your ideal standard of living is a really, really useful exercise to go through. I then ended up finding work working as a diversity and inclusion consultant, delivering training for a firm that works with blue chip companies across Europe, Asia, and North America. And again, I started that during the pandemic, and literally it involved being at my computer, um, looking very professional from the neck up, not necessarily so professional um, from the waist down. And that was when I was like, listen, if I'm doing this from London, I can do this from Grenada. The money is good. It works in terms of the time zones, because that's another thing. When I was doing the teaching English online, there was times when I was waking up at 1 a.m. to teach. Like, not really the best when you've got kids to look after later that day. But yeah, that was a process that I went through in order to be here right now. There are other things that I'm working on, which I very much look forward to sharing with you in the new year. But in terms of being able to make that first step in order to be able to say, yes, I'm going to be able to make the move. I'm going to be able to make the move knowing that my bills are covered, that I know where my income is coming in, that I'm not running around chasing it from too many different sources. That really was a thing that gave me, finally, the freedom that I've been looking for. And for those of you in the process of making your move, maybe some of you are wondering, okay, how do I make that step to being able to work remotely by finding a new form of employment or a new form of consulting? For others of you, you might already have a job and you want to see how you can negotiate remote work with your current employer. And for some of you, you are set, you are able to make the move. But there are a few dots, like what might life in Grenada look like? What does it mean for me in terms of taxation? How do I sort out immigration? Do I need a work visa? How long can I stay on a tourist visa, etc., etc., etc.? So this is basically a really long way of me outlining what it is that I want to be able to offer, what I want to see if you are interested in. It'll probably take place early in January next year. I'll invite along a few other people who can share their perspectives, because obviously for me, in terms of being able to live in Grenada, it was pretty easy because I had applied for citizenship in 2015. But for those of you who perhaps have access to getting citizenship in another CARICOM country, or for those of you who have absolutely no family ties to the region at all, the process is going to be different if you want to stay for more than 3 months. Excuse my hand, but again, my tripod is broken, so if anyone wants to donate one, let me know. So that's it really. I'm going to be doing it in January. I would love to see you there. This is my backdrop. If you want a backdrop like this or better, get in touch, because there are ways. Where there is a will, there is a way. And I found one, and it's constantly evolving, constantly improving. But that first step of getting out, it makes such a difference. Once you've done that, anything becomes possible. So if you want advice, if you want to connect to other people who are also in the process of making that move, holler at me in the comments and I will send you the link, and we can chat and get together in the new year and make your move a reality. Thanks.